Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Buggy Reviews. Today's episode is a kind of an interesting one, actually. You see, it's been, what was it, about maybe 3 years, I think, since I started doing reviews on this channel. And the first review I decided to start off with was Venom, the first movie at the time, because I had just went in there. I wanted to see what it was because I liked the character, and I felt that the movie, wasn't getting a fair shake in the terms of the audience, in terms of the media attention. Like, all the critics were giving it crap and all this, and I was like, and I went in there. It was like, while it wasn't the best movie in the world, it really was not deserving of all the bashing. Like, there are issues, sure, but the movie is still enjoyable. Now, is that the same for Venom, Let There Be Carnage? I guess, I don't know. It's very difficult to try to encapsulate, but I'm gonna try this. You see, it kind of does a repeat, more or less, of the first movie's beats, to a degree. It's kind of strange. It's almost like if you didn't see the first movie and you kind of watch this one, it probably wouldn't be too far different throughout the whole bit. Eddie and Venom are two different beings. They're joined together. They're just having issues, problems. They're split off apart from each other for a rather significant amount of time throughout the movie. Meanwhile, the quote-unquote villain of the movie is kind of just causing chaos, and the main protagonist and antagonist don't fight until, like, literally the last 40 minutes of the movie, which kind of, like, defeats the purpose. I feel like it's weird when you have your antagonist and antagonist only face each other like one time throughout the whole movie. It's kind of weird. I don't like that kind of formula. Even Marvel, even the MCU movies from Disney, they avoid that thing. Even with, like, Shang-Chi, which, obviously Venom Let There Be Carnage was a lot better than Shang-Chi. I could at least give Shang-Chi this, that, Shang-Chi got to fight the main villain at least more than one time. It just it didn't really work for me. Pacing was kind of strange. It's just like, it was trying to do a lot of things, and the drastic changes they did to some of the source material was just kind of like, I don't know why you needed to do that. With Shriek, they race swapped her. Like, I've never been a big proponent on that thing, so it's kind of like weird. The actress, I guess she did okay. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not too familiar with Shriek as a character, so I can't really say whether or not she was accurate enough in that regard. I know that her abilities are completely different than they are from the comics, because here it's just like she's just got like a Black Canary scream, when in the comics, from what I was told, that they're more of like sonic blast she shoots out of her hands and stuff, so it just didn't really make a whole lot of sense. Then with Carnage himself, see, the thing about Carnage is he's the perfect symbiosis. It's Cletus and the symbiote, they merged into one because of the fact that a piece of that, the Venom symbiote, like, crapped out a little kid, it gets in his bloodstream, and therefore it morphs and fuses together with him to the point where they are one singular being, and it's not like with Venom where there's two distinct personalities, where there's the symbiote and then there's Eddie Brock. You know, like that's supposed to be the difference with Carnage. Here, they try to replicate it. They try to replicate the same thing with Venom, where it's Cletus and the symbiote, and it doesn't really work because it kind of takes a little bit of the teeth out of Cletus's bite, because while he does do all these like despicable and fucked up things, you know, and it's even shown and implied that, you know, so they have that part there, but kind of adding in the fact that, you know, that Cletus is having some limitations, and that the Carnage symbiote is like just the super aggressor that doesn't give a fuck, and causes a rift between them. It doesn't work, because that's not how Carnage is supposed to be. Carnage is like one being, one person. Cletus is Carnage, Carnage is Cletus. You know, no two personalities, no two voices talking, you know. And a friend of mine actually said that they went Jared Leto Joker with Cletus. Now, I'm not sure if I would go that far, but I can see where he's coming from. Especially when, you know, the history of Shriek and Carnage, which is like, it was essentially kind of like the Marvel's equivalent of Joker and Harley Quinn, in a sense. And while I was like, okay, I don't mind it too much, like, sure, maybe, like, Cletus would have an attachment to this person, and he likes her, and it's established that, yeah, that's fine. Although I feel like they didn't go far enough with it. I think it's just a lot of limitations they just have on there. You know, because if they really wanted to, they should have had Cletus be, like, a fucked up person who, like, you know, with the Harley Quinn syndrome, you know, it's like, Harley Quinn, even despite being knocked around by Joker on countless occasions, she still was loyal to him for the longest amount of time. You know, that was a whole bit. Now, but now they could have replicated that, but they didn't quite do it. Therefore, it just doesn't work out well. For performances, you know, Tom Hardy does a pretty decent Eddie Brock. You know, I've had nothing really wrong with it. I think he does a great performance. I think it's just the writing sometimes kind of fucks with him a little bit. With Woody Harrelson as Carnage, it's like, I think he's not a terrible choice for Carnage. It's just the writing didn't really help him. That's the key factor. The writing was not the best in that regard. Because like, Woody Harrelson's played, like, sadistic, crazy serial killers, and this should have been up his alley. But the problem is they went a little bit too... They went too far into kind of playing it both sides, where Cletus is a fucked up person, but he's not that fucked up of a person. You know, which doesn't really work, because the point of Carnage is he's, like, one of the most scariest fucked up things imaginable. Like, he makes Spider-Man actually, like, be concerned. Like, he's, like, one of the characters that Spider-Man does not want to quip around, because Cletus is just so fucking batshit insane and deranged, dangerous, that, you know, he has to go serious mode with this thing. So here, it just doesn't really make sense. They have a post-credit scene, which I'm assuming is to tie things in, I guess, for an upcoming movie. I don't know if it's going to be the next Spider-Man movie or something else planned along the way, but it's set up the stage for Venom and the MCU Spider-Man to bump into each other. So who knows? But yeah, overall, while the movie is, I don't know, I would say it's not as good as the first one in some regards. It's not the best thing in the world. It's not the worst. I mean, there's no politics or agendas there, so that's a plus. But The writing is a little bit iffy. Pacing is kind of just wonky out. Performances are alright, but they're hampered by the writing. Certain choices of deviating from the lore are questionable. And I guess that's just all I can say, really. Because there's just not much I can do about it. It's just like, it treads a lot of the first movie. And that's kind of about it. So, you know, that's all I could say. So, you know, if you want to watch it, go ahead and watch it. I ain't gonna stop you. But hey, have you seen it? Have you not? What are your thoughts down below? Leave it down in the comment section below. Also, if you want me to watch anything else within the realm of the superhero verse, please recommend it down in the comment section below, and I might get to that. I'd like to thank you all for stopping by, and I shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye.